Hi, it's Lee and welcome to the Tesla Economist. We've all been enjoying and celebrating these latest stock prices with Tesla. It's been an insane run to say the least, but appears to have lost some steam for now, likely still due to the Fed threatening more rate hikes. We did see huge gains and a pullback was to be expected, although it was mainly macros. Tesla just got hit a little harder due to its volatility. However, it would appear the vast majority of Tesla investors are still expecting to see $300 stock price this year, and most thinking within the next few months. Is that possible? Will the stock hold at these levels? Well, as we're nearing closer to the Cybertruck launch, I don't think many investors want to sell before then. In about a month's time, there'll be an earnings call, and I would pretty much guarantee that there are a few questions asked about the Cybertruck. Most likely, one that will require Elon giving us an estimate as to whether we are still on target for the Cybertruck delivery event, which many are saying as early as September, due to deliveries supposedly at the end of Q3. This will be the event where we finally get the latest Cybertruck specifications, an update from almost 4 years ago now since the initial reveal. And perhaps Elon may end up having to push it back to October or even November, but I would say as long as it's this year, we are good. It's more about the fact that it will actually happen. If Elon actually said something like October the 21st will be the Cybertruck delivery event, then that would be amazing to actually get a date finally locked in. And the stock would run, possibly all the way to the event, and might pull back a bit after, judging by the past mantra of many Tesla traders of buy the rumour, sell the news. But I wouldn't have thought we'd see a massive drop in the stock price. The stock could still keep running with the market and seeing more Cybertruck progress along with other Tesla events coming up. The stock has been sitting around $250 to $300 for a large part of the last 2.5 years. This might be where the stock naturally sits, although since that time the company has grown a lot, producing about 2.5 as many vehicles, and 2 more enormous factories, with plans to build an even bigger one, and mention another location at the end of the year, and finally expand Giga Nevada. All up, probably doubling the existing factory space there is currently, and almost tripling the current run rates. I mean, I'm of the thought now that nothing can surprise me, especially when it comes to Tesla, and there is a real chance that we could actually see a new all-time high, maybe even this year, if things go well enough, and Tesla achieves everything it said. However, whatever the high is for the year, will it hold or even keep rising? Eventually investors are going to want to see some growth in the earnings too. It's great that FSD is progressing so well, but no one knows when it will be ready, and even all the bulls have mixed opinions. Although there are some really bullish bulls which I think are almost delusional as to how successful Tesla could really be. I think whatever Tesla is becoming is still going to take time, but there's a saying that you overestimate what you can do in a year, but underestimate what you can do in a decade. We're still not even halfway through this decade yet, and look what Tesla have achieved. In the second half, Tesla could really grow as we see things compound. Not just compounding, but exponentials are in play too. Tesla are building new factories, but these new factories have improved manufacturing techniques that mean Tesla can produce vehicles at a faster pace. So more factories with higher outputs, producing vehicles at a lower cost with potentially higher demand. There is lots of growth on the horizon to come. However, there'll be a bit of lull next year, at least in the financials. I think going by the current run rate and progress of Model 3 and Y, with the Cybertruck ramped up to volume production and energy ramped up, then we're probably not far off $20 billion in earnings at a guess. Although this isn't going to be until the end of 2024 though. For the rest of 2024, Cybertruck will reduce earnings due to the running costs, and if Mexico is complete in that year, it will also be a big drain on cash. Next year, the stock will depend on the progress with the Mexico build and the ramping of the Cybertruck, at least going by what we know today. Financials won't mean so much. The lower prices for Y and 3 are priced in already. In fact, the market is probably expecting some cuts in rates, which may even mean we get to see higher margins again. Also, there is the $7,500 tax credit, which turns into a rebate at point of sale in the US next year, which I would expect to have more effect on demand. Could the stock keep running next year too? Again, disclosure as always assuming there are no black swan events or financial meltdowns that affect the economy. What about hitting $500? Does that sound like a possibility? Well, that would be a market cap of around $1.5 trillion, only 20% higher than the all-time high. It would mean that at a PE ratio of just 50, Tesla would only need to produce $30 billion in earnings. And like we said, Tesla wouldn't be far off $20 billion at the end of next year, if we completely exclude Mexico, which could quite possibly contribute a further $10 billion in earnings eventually, and another 10 billion after its expansion. And I'm not including FSD, and like I said, a P ratio of 50, and Tesla's currently at a P ratio of 75. On the other hand, I think there are Tesla investors becoming too arrogant, almost mocking the likes of Buffett and Munger for not investing in Tesla. Berkshire Hathaway have their own strategy that has worked exceedingly well in the past. A lot of their best investments are the ones they don't make, like how they steered clear of the dot-com bubble. Berkshire Hathaway does value investing. Tesla is anything but a value stock. Tesla has a P ratio of 75, Apple is 30, but Warren was buying it in December when it was around 20, because that is their strategy. And perhaps they would consider Tesla if it went down to 20, but it won't because it's not a value stock. It's a high-growth tech stock. Other investors are thinking that robotaxis are going to be out next year. I think investors are getting ahead of themselves somewhat. I know it feels really good the stock is up again, but try to remain grounded and realistic. Expanding manufacturing for vehicles takes a long time, especially for EVs, and solving FSD. Well, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and guess that FSD won't be ready this year either. It will take time too. The point is, though, that Tesla is popular again in the market, and investors are believing more again in what the company can achieve. And as the belief becomes stronger in FSD and potentially robotaxis, then that PE ratio can get high. Seeing the Cybertruck launch will increase that same confidence further. Elon hasn't set the bar that high for us lately, not like he had in the past with 100 gigawatt hours of 4680 production we were meant to see last year, or FSD safer than a human. And the market hardly prices in any of Elon's FSD estimates now anyway. It knows Tesla are the furthest ahead, making the best progress, and it is worth a fortune to whomever gets there first. And Tesla will get there first, and there'll be no competition. It will be a monopoly, and every other auto OEM will have to license Tesla's tech. I really don't know how anyone else can compete or gather enough data to come close. So as long as Cybertruck doesn't run into too many production issues, of course there will likely be some, but hopefully not some sort of new production hell, and as long as there is a noticeable increase in progress, the stock should hold or even increase. And as for Mexico, well, Tesla have demonstrated they excel at building factories. Texas went up in an insane amount of time. And okay, sure, Berlin dragged on a little at the end, but that was more to do with all the red tape you get in Germany. Mexico is even rumoured to go up faster than Shanghai. Elon did say he expected 4680s to ramp next year too, but I don't think many people remember that, or even talk about it much, and thus if we don't see much progress there next year, I can't see it affecting the stock. However, if we do get a big ramp, then that will look good. The big shiny Cybertruck will get more attention most likely anyway. There should be some 4680 ramping though. I mean, there are 3 more lines in Texas to start running, which should add up. I think that 2.4 million units produced might be about all they reach next year, which is still about a 30% increase from this year, depending on where we get to. I think investors will be accepting of that, and the excitement will turn to how many units Mexico can do. Hi there, I'm using Verbalate AI video translation and lip sync software. It's pretty amazing. Watch this. I can translate my videos into other languages. For example, I am now speaking Hindi.
नमस्ते, मैं पहली बार हिंदी में बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन वर्बलेट इसे इतना आसान बना देता है.
Or how about Spanish?
Hola, vaya, increíble.
También puedo hablar español. Sign up at verbalate.ai today to gain early access to trial the product for creators and strategic partners, and gain the ability to translate and lip sync videos in all major languages. You can view the info in the description below.